I'm sure you've probably never heard of this story before, but it's one of the most interesting and powerful stories in the Bible. It's the story of Abigail and Nabal, a story of wisdom, foolishness, and how one woman's actions saved a whole household. So let's dive into it. There was a man named Nabal. He was very rich, owning thousands of sheep and goats. Nabal was a wealthy man, but he had one big problem. He was known for being rude, selfish, and harsh. He didn't care about others, and he wasn't known for being generous or kind. Nabal's wife, Abigail, on the other hand, was very different. She was intelligent, wise, and beautiful. Despite being married to a man like Nabal, Abigail had a heart full of kindness and wisdom. She was known for her good judgment and grace. Now here's where the story gets interesting. David, who would later become king of Israel, was in the wilderness with his men. They were staying in the region near Nabal's estate. David and his men were protecting Nabal's sheep from thieves and raiders, providing a kind of shield for Nabal's property. But after all the work David's men did, they expected a little kindness in return. So David sent some of his men to ask Nabal for a small gift, just some food and supplies, for all the protection they had provided. David was polite and respectful, but Nabal, being the rude man that he was, refused and insulted David. He mocked David, calling him a nobody and refusing to help. David, angry and insulted, gathered 400 men and prepared to march toward Nabal's house to take revenge. He was ready to fight. But before he could reach Nabal, something amazing happened. Abigail, Nabal's wise and beautiful wife, heard about what had happened. She knew her husband's foolishness would bring destruction upon them. Without wasting time, Abigail quickly gathered a large amount of food, bread, wine, meat, and other provisions, and set off to meet David. When she saw David, Abigail didn't speak harshly or defensively. Instead, she humbled herself, fell on her face, and said to David, "Please forgive the offense of your servant. I didn't see your men, but I am here to offer you gifts. Let not my husband's foolishness be on me. I know you are a man of God, and I know that you are destined to be king. I beg you, don't harm my household." Abigail showed incredible wisdom and courage. She didn't allow her pride or her husband's mistakes to get in the way of doing the right thing. She also acknowledged David's future kingship and the purpose God had for him. David, deeply moved by her words and wisdom, praised her. He said, "Blessed is the Lord who sent you to meet me today. You've saved me from bloodshed and from seeking revenge with my own hands. I would have surely harmed Nabal and his household, but you stopped me." David accepted her gift, and he went back to his men, sparing Nabal's life. Abigail's actions saved her household, and her wisdom brought peace to what could have been a deadly situation. Now here's the twist in the story. When Abigail returned home and told Nabal what had happened, he was so drunk that he didn't even understand the gravity of the situation. The next morning when he sobered up, she told him everything. Nabal's heart failed him, and he had a stroke. About 10 days later, he died. After Nabal's death, David, seeing that God had taken care of the situation, sent for Abigail. He admired her wisdom and asked her to be his wife. Abigail agreed, and they were married. This story is powerful because it shows the difference between wisdom and foolishness. Nabal, with all his wealth, was foolish and disrespectful, and it cost him his life. Abigail, on the other hand, used her wisdom, humility, and grace to protect her family and even gain a better future. Her actions saved lives, and ultimately, she became a queen. This story teaches us that wisdom and good judgment are more valuable than wealth, and that sometimes the right actions can turn our lives around, even in the most difficult situations. If you believe that wisdom can change everything, type amen in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and subscribe for more inspiring Bible stories like this one.